Well, there's a big shindig tomorrow in Kentucky promoting criminal justice reform, an issue near and dear to the late Johnny Cash, who met with President Nixon in 1972 to raise awareness about the plight of incarcerated Americans. And now his son, John Carter Cash, is following in his footsteps, taking part in a celebration of second chances. It's an honor to have you on the show, sir. Tell me about how committed your family has been to this issue.
Well, my father saw no separation between someone that would be considered a convict or an ex-convict or his own family or himself, for that matter, and he loved humanity, he loved people, and he always stood up for those who had no one else to stand up for them, or those that were forgotten and set aside. And so he would perform for the prisoners, and he would reach out to the Native American societies, and he would try to make, you know, more awareness come into the general population about different struggles, you know, that were going on. And so this is the world that I grew up in, the way of thinking. But, you know, I mean, rehabilitation is what it's about. 94% of, I know, Tennesseans believe that the major goal of the justice system should be rehabilitation, and it just that simple focus is you know, that's what it's about. It's about changing, because I mean, I grew up believing in my home that there was love within us all, and that we could awaken that love, and that we could forgive. And it wasn't just lip service. It was the way that my parents lived, and it's the way that I aspire to be.
There are 6.6 million Americans in prison today, but there is a movement, and it is a bipartisan one, a multi-generational one, and President Trump signed the First Step Act earlier this year, or late last year. And I know there's still a lot of work to be done, but that has got to be somewhat gratifying. And when you have this big event before the Kentucky Derby, I mean, there is something to celebrate.
Yeah, you know, CelebrateSecondChance.com, and you know, that's a website that will lead you to more information to find out, you know, what can you do, how can you reach out, how can you help. CelebrateSecondChance.com, but yeah, tomorrow night, a celebration of second chances at the Kentucky Castle, and Sarah Evans will be on the show, Pat Green and myself. So, but you know, it's. I have a lot of friends out there in the music business who have the same feelings that I do. Jamie Johnson, there's also a dear friend of mine that has a organization called Send Musicians to Prison. And so that's hard to forget. And so, I mean, there's a lot of good work being done, but you know, we're all brothers and sisters. We're all together in this, and it's about unity of heart, you know, unity of soul and humanity and forgiveness. And that's the world that I grew up in, where, you know, it was far as east to west as far as what record was kept.
And of course, Matthew Charles, who was the first person to be released from under the First Step Act that President Trump signed. He lives there in Nashville, and we here at the show got a chance to meet him, which was thrilling. I got to ask you, what song are you going to kick off with tomorrow?
You know, I don't know. I will speak a bit, you know, about my father's life and what he stood for, and his feelings about the justice system at the time, which are still in place right now. And then I will do, you know, a couple of my father's songs, my mother's song, also my mother's family songs. Excuse me, my wife Anna Christina Cash will be with me.
And she's so beautiful. Well, we're thrilled to have you on the show today, and we'll tune in tomorrow and we'll check out that website as well. John Carter Cash, thank you.
Wonderful.